Today we're going to talk about selling coaching versus courses and how to transition from selling just coaching into selling group programs and courses so that you can scale your business. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm Luisa Zhou, and this channel is all about helping you grow your own online business and succeed as an entrepreneur and business owner. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 tips from my own experience starting out as a coach and growing a 6-figure online coaching business, 2 over the years transitioning into selling primarily courses with a little bit of coaching and building a 7-figure business. So there's some good stuff for you here today. So with that, let's jump right into tip number 1 for you, which is how I recommend transitioning from selling private coaching packages to self-study courses. And that step-by-step process is really simple. It's to start with, of course, your private coaching, branch out into a group coaching program, and then branch into a self-study course. So there are a few things going on here. First of all, one of the most common questions I get is, are group programs and courses the same thing? Not exactly. When I say course, and the common definition for a course is essentially something that is self-study, where you've got some great content packaged in a step-by-step way so that someone can go through it on their own and learn via a series of most likely videos, PDFs, worksheets, maybe a support community, something along those lines, but they probably don't get access to you and your coaching. So that's the complete other end of the spectrum where you're not really coaching those students. The middle ground is group coaching, which is a combination of a little bit of coaching and the course content. So what that looks like often is you'll have the content that someone goes through where they are going through maybe some videos, some modules, some PDFs, and they also get coaching from you in a group setting. So maybe you have one group coaching call every week, every 2 weeks, whatever that rhythm looks like with you or with a program coach. So it doesn't have to be you. And they still have access to someone to ask questions and get feedback and get coaching on whatever area that you are helping them with. So there's a little bit more mentorship, there's a little bit more hand-holding, but it's not exactly the one-on-one calls, private support that your private clients get. And the way this transition usually happens goes a little bit like this. Most people start out with one-on-one coaching, which I do recommend because it's going to help you get revenue a lot faster, get testimonials faster, really learn your skills and work on your skills as a coach, because becoming a good coach and teacher is a separate set of skills, separate from the skills that you already have in whatever area it is that you do. And starting with that, most people take around 3 to 10 private coaching clients before they start realizing a couple of things. First, they start noticing patterns. And this usually happens after about 3 clients, where you start realizing, okay, on the first call, I always go over these things. These questions always come up. Same thing happens for the second call and the third and so forth. And so once you start noticing those patterns, you probably are going to start creating content just in a simple Google Doc, for example, so that, okay, on the first call, we're going to go over this. You're going to maybe answer these questions, you're going to do these things, and you're starting to systematize the way that you're teaching and what you're teaching. The other thing that happens is that at about 10 clients or so, and this number specifically differs a little bit for every person depending on their personal schedule and what they can handle, but around there, you start realizing, okay, I'm maxed out. I cannot take too many more private coaching clients because I can't handle it in my schedule. I can't remember that many details for that many people. It's just starting to feel really overwhelming. And so 10 is about usually the max that I recommend. And so what do you do? Because you still want to grow your business. Well, the next step is to transition into group coaching. And the model that I usually recommend for that is to take the content that you created for your private coaching clients, which is now in documents for each week's content so that someone can go and learn from it on their own without you having to say the same thing on every coaching call. Have that, put that into the curriculum for a group coaching program, which is the same curriculum that you walk your private coaching clients through, except now people are learning from maybe the videos and the Google documents, which don't have to be fancy, by the way. You can literally just have some live streams or video recordings from your cell phone or your laptop and then the Google documents. And people are learning from that. But when they have questions, They're able to ask you whether in a private Slack channel, a private Facebook group, or via a private email inbox, whatever that looks like. And they're also able to ask you group questions on group coaching calls that initially you are most likely going to be hosting yourself. And what this does is it allows you to do a few things where you're building again on your coaching and teaching skills. First, you build your confidence in terms of being able to handle a group environment. Think about it. When you're working with someone one-on-one, any issues that come up, any questions that come up, you know you can handle it in a private setting. Now, in a group coaching setting, you have to learn how to deal with that as a leader, as a coach of a group where lots of people are engaging together, building off of each other, and kind of getting that feedback together. You have to learn how to manage expectations, how to really coach in a group setting, and how to deal with just a larger scale audience in terms of your clients. And so you're learning that, you're learning how to really handle more people at once, and you're also noticing maybe improvement areas in your content so that, oh, hey, for example, I noticed on my private coaching calls, we did it this way. However, this other way works way better in a group setting. So what you're doing is you're basically setting the foundation for a self-study course by running lots of people through it live so that you can really nail down the content and the course curriculum and make it really robust. And then what happens as time goes on, you really create the most robust curriculum possible. You become really confident in your curriculum. You've got lots of coaching call recordings that you can actually add into your course so that people, even if they don't get access to you, they can listen to the coaching call recordings. Again, you're starting to notice patterns. Okay, every time we go through module 1, these questions come up. Every time we go through module 2, these questions come up. And so people are going to have access to them in the coaching recordings. And as time goes on and you've got those testimonials as well, you're building your own reputation and the brand of your program so that once you release it as a self-study course, it's the most robust, best curriculum possible. You already know how to sell it because you've successfully sold it and helped so many people live through it. And you have the testimonials, you have the coaching recordings, so that it really is an amazing, comprehensive, robust, standalone offer. And so that's the way to transition. And going from group coaching to courses, that I see a lot of variance in when someone is ready. Some people are ready right away after just a few group coaching programs. Some people love group coaching, and so they take a little bit longer to get a course. And so that is really up to you and feeling into, okay, when am I ready to start just taking myself completely out of it? So that's step or tip number 1 that I have for you. Tip number 2 that I highly recommend might seem a little bit counterintuitive given the title and the point of this training, but it's going to make sense in just a bit. And that tip that I have for you is to, when you're transitioning from coaching to courses, to not stop offering coaching, but to instead offer it to a smaller group of people as you scale out your course business. And there are lots of reasons for that. So let me give you a few of the top reasons. The first reason is for you yourself. As you transition from coaching to courses, what's going to happen if you're only selling courses and you're not even involved in your community because you've built up a team to support it is you yourself might not be keeping up to date with the trends in your industry. You might start losing a little bit of touch with your audience and your students and what helps them best. And as a result, become a less effective course creator. Also, the relationship that you build with a course student versus a coaching client is completely different. They're both good, but they're very different. The coaching relationship is a lot more intimate. And what you want to do is you want to maintain that intimacy with some people in your audience, even if you can't maintain it with everyone, so that you're staying connected again to your audience and staying on top of, okay, this is what's going on, this is what people are thinking, so that you can continue to share relevant content, relevant updates to your courses, and really keep those skills as a coach and teacher that you've spent all this time building up as sharp as possible. So let's use me as an example because I never give you advice that I myself don't follow. These days I have, I think 15 plus courses on different areas of building your own online business and mastering different skills. With that, I no longer coach people who are starting out in their business journey. It's just not something that I really enjoy that much at this point because I've spent so long creating all these courses on it and I'm relatively removed from that. That being said, I still coach a handful of clients who are wanting to scale to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures. And what that does is it keeps my coaching skills really sharp. It keeps me in tune with the human aspect of my business, so that even though the strategies and tactics I'm talking about might not be applicable to all of my students, especially those who are starting out, the way I'm connecting with my audience, the way that it keeps me connected to remembering the things that I coached on and taught when I was coaching and teaching my private clients to start businesses, it keeps me in touch with that. And it also makes sure that I stay on top of what's going on in my industry, so that even if a client is not brand new and starting out, they're still relatively early on in their business, I'm staying on top of, okay, these are the trends, these are the best ways to grow your business right now, these are the best tactics, and as a result, I'm able to keep all my courses up to date and still teach in the best way possible. I will say also, coaching my clients has given me so many ideas for new courses. I would say pretty much all of my course ideas come from doing something myself, helping a private client or a few with that, and then realizing, oh, hey, yeah, this is something that I really need to get out to more people and I need to put it into a course. Coaching also continues to generate a lot of ideas for me for the content to create for you. So again, even though the exact strategy that I'm talking about with the client to help them get to 7 figures might not be applicable for my YouTube channel, maybe there's something that we talk about that reminds me of something else that would be really applicable for you. That was actually what prompted this video, where I was talking to a client about how to scale their course business, and it reminded me of this whole topic, and here we are. A final point that I'll add here, which is really important, is that scaling your course business is tough. Courses require more volume of sales versus higher priced coaching packages. And so you have to sell more, but because it's lower priced and you're growing your audience to sell more courses, it might eat into your profit margins in the beginning of your business as you're scaling. And so as you continue to sell coaching, what that does is it maintains your profit margin and makes sure that you have the revenue to invest in scaling your courses and selling them out, so that you're not ever worried about your business revenue, which is gonna put you into a really negative place and not help you sell. So for all of those reasons, as you're transitioning from coaching into selling courses, one of the best, most powerful things that you can do for yourself is to actually offer both. And that leads me to tip number 3, which is to understand that when you're offering coaching, courses, or some combination of both, what you're really doing is you're essentially creating 2 different types of businesses. So the way I sell my coaching packages, the way I work with my coaching clients is very different from how I operate my course business. And the relationships that I have with my students versus with my coaching clients are very different as well. And what that means is that the relationships that you build as a coach and coaching business owner versus a course creator and course business owner are with your audience are very different as well. And so because of that, what you want to do is to teach your audience to navigate those 2 relationships. So the best example of this that I can think of is the relationship that I have with my parents. So my parents are first and foremost my parents. They're kind of the authority figures in my life, and they have a lot of wisdom, and growing up, they told me what to do, and you bet I did it. However, as time went on, there's still people I go to for advice and lots of wisdom, and they definitely still have that authority, but they also became kind of friends who I could chat with. Now, I totally understand everyone's relationship with their parents is gonna differ a little bit, but that's just one example of how, as time went on, my parents essentially navigated that 2-sided relationship, the authority figure, the parent who tells you what to do, and the person who you can chat with and just kind of have as a friend. Now, of course, I'm never gonna be chatting with my friends the exact way I talk to friends who are my own age, but you get the idea. And so what you wanna do as you're transitioning from coaching to courses is to teach your audience, hey, I am still a coach, and I'm also a course creator. Depending on the kind of relationship that you want to have with me, how much you want to learn from me, where you are in your own personal journey of whatever it is I help you with, you can figure out how you want to navigate that relationship. That also means that you are teaching your audience that there is even this other relationship to be aware of, that, hey, my coaching is great. However, my courses are also great. And that was something I didn't understand in the beginning as I transitioned from coaching to courses. And so when people kept on wanting to buy my courses or my coaching, private coaching or group programs, but not really wanting the self-study courses because they didn't have me, I remember feeling really frustrated because I remember thinking, guys, this is an awesome course and I've created it. I've put so much time and effort into it so that you don't need me. That's kind of the point. The thing was, because I had trained my audience to set that relationship of, hey, I'm a coach, I'm here for you, it took some time to train my audience to expect this other side of me, this other relationship with me, and it was okay. Looking back, if I could give one piece of advice to myself, it would be exactly what I'm sharing with you, which is, hey, be okay with it taking a little bit more time and be patient with teaching your audience this new side, this new aspect of the relationship with you. Then as time goes on, you're not only going to be teaching your audience about that relationship, and it can be really simple. It can just be you starting to talk about your courses and explaining why they're awesome, explaining how you created them so that if someone doesn't want the coaching with you or isn't ready to take that next step and invest in the coaching with you, they can get started with the self-study version. And so through doing that, what you're also doing is training your audience. And when I say training, it's not a negative thing. It's just, again, you teach people how to treat you in every single relationship that you have. And this is just another aspect of that. And so teaching your audience to understand, hey, if you want the coaching with me, this is the type of relationship we'll have. This is who I coach, and this is what that's going to look like. Or if you want to learn from me via just my courses and still appreciate me, but have that different relationship, they are equally good. And as you do that over time, what you do is you are teaching your audience to kind of navigate the two relationships and figure out where in between that spectrum they want to be. And again, using an analogy that we're really comfortable with, it's like different friendships, right? Some people are your best friends. You tell them every single thing. You go on trips together and it's just the closest relationship ever. Some people are just acquaintances and they want to be that way. They respect you, they like you, but maybe you guys just don't get along so well that you need to be more intimate and get to know each other better. And then there are people who fall somewhere in between. You share with them some things, but you don't share with them everything. And again, it's just letting your audience choose where along that spectrum in terms of coaching to courses that they want to fall. But it's your job as the coach and course creator to teach them what the options are, to teach them that they're all equally good. One is not better than the other. A best friend is not better than an acquaintance. It's just a different type of relationship. And then giving people the time to adjust to this new relationship with you instead of assuming, hey, day one, new courses, I'm a course creator now, why is nobody buying from me? Again, I wish someone had taught me that when I first made this adjustment. It would have saved me a lot of frustration and frankly, despair, wondering, oh my gosh, am I ever going to be able to make that transition? So those are the 3 tips I have for you on how to transition from selling coaching to courses and having a business model of something in between. Now, here's what I'll have to say. The way that you sell as time goes on, especially if you're moving from selling coaching to courses, is probably going to differ as well. Because again, that relationship is different. Courses are more about the scale, the impact, the mass impact that you can create. Coaching is more about going deeper and more intimate with a smaller number of people. And so, of course, how you connect with those people, how you make sales is going to be different. And one of the top ways that I recommend for selling courses is using webinars. Now, of course, there's a way to do them right, and that feels good, and a way that I don't recommend. So what I have for you also is a video on 3 of the top lessons I've learned over the years from making over $1 million in sales directly on webinars. And so I'm gonna link that video for you somewhere on the screen and or in the description below so that you can make sure to get those lessons and start transitioning successfully in your own business or whenever you're ready from selling coaching to also adding group programs and courses to your repertoire. That is it for this video. So if you have found it helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're new around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified each week when I drop a brand new video on building your own online business and succeeding as an entrepreneur and business owner. All right, so I promise you it's gonna be some good stuff and I hope you agree. And with that, that is it for today. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you next time.